Hello YouTube, it is Champion DJK coming at you again with another video, and today we got some Hot Wheels 100%, some 100% Hot Wheels. These things are pretty sweet. I have showed them in several videos in the past. I've got quite a kind of a big collection of these things now. Pretty sizable, I would say. There's a lot more still probably to get, and it's just kind of interesting because I don't keep track of how many were out. I don't know what's all out there, so every once in a while we just discover new ones, and it's fun. So actually, all of these that I'm going to show you today, I'm pretty sure every single one of them, I got from my buddy Jay, which I get a lot of stuff from him, I know, and we mention him all the time on the channel. Great guy. And, he's got this thing where he will end up with duplicates of stuff because it's hard to keep track of what you have when you have a ton. And then he ends up selling me his duplicate stuff. So these are doubles for him and brand new to me. So we're going to take a look at them. Hot Wheels 100%. If you are not too familiar with this, this is essentially Hot Wheels entry into doing very premium detailed die cast, and around the late 90s, early 2000s, I think, or when they all were. So apparently these were available at Walmart, and they weren't cheap, I guess. $7.76 for 1999. From today's standards, very inexpensive, but back then I'm sure people thought that these were kind of expensive, right? But you do get an acrylic display case. We get details. You can read the back if you want to. These series of collectible vehicles are actually designed to touch the soul and stir the passions of automotive enthusiasts who appreciate cool designs and heart-pounding performance. Highly detailed 1/64 scale vehicles. So what are they closest to nowadays? You could argue Elite 64, but these really do have like a different kind of flavor to them. So, and they're cool. I dig them. I mean, they're not everybody's into these 100% Hot Wheels. And I will tell you that not all are created equal. Some of them are very cool, and some of them are just kind of okay. But we're going to take a look at these today. This is the 1940 Ford Convertible, and we're going to have to kind of try to go somewhat quick because, we've got a lot to look at. There is 9 of these vehicles here that we're going to look at today. I think they all come with this in them, some 90-day limited warranty on the product, and then they also have, which is just kind of wild to have that with Diecast. You don't see that today. And then you could also complete the information below, and then you will be on file as an official Hot Wheels collector. I wonder if this file still exists, but pretty funny. The other thing we got to watch out for, and which we might find today, is rubber band damage. We talk about that a lot when we talk about the Elite 64 line. That is one of the flaws of this line, is that they had rubber bands holding parts and hoods because they have opening pieces, some of them, together, and these rubber bands rot and dry out, and sometimes they stick to the paint and they will create an issue. The other issue that I find often with these is the screws on the bottom of here being extremely torqued down, so we may have that issue as well. We might have one we can't even get off the base on camera, and I have to take it off camera and actually do it another time. But here we go, rubber band. It's falling apart, as predicted. We're going to unscrew it from the base first. And this one is pretty loose, actually. Not bad. I typically take these off of the base, and I do not put them back on. I store them without the acrylic case. Mostly because a lot of times by the time I get them, the acrylic case is not in good shape. This one actually is in pretty good shape. So I would debate on keeping it, but I store them a little bit differently. So there's that. So we got an opening hood on this one. It's not quite shut. I'm kind of scared it's not going to. We're going to go ahead and peel or try to get the rubber band off. The other side of it fell off nice and easy. So I'm guessing we're going to get some paint damage on this one. Maybe. And that's the thing. These either dry out or they turn to like absolute like goo. And I don't really know of a good way to remove this stuff. I don't know if Goo Gone would work. Maybe isopropyl alcohol. And that actually might be what I try on this one because it is really, really bad. Actually, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to go get some isopropyl. All right, so this is the science experiment portion of the video. We're going to go ahead and apply some to a cotton swab, and then we are going to see if we can just lightly rub away the goo. And it does seem to be kind of working, but I'm not sure this is the best thing to use for it. Some other people said to use like Zippo lighter fluid, that works to remove it, and it might. I'll have to do the rest of this off camera because I'm not going to bore you with all this, but I will tell you right away that it definitely removed a little bit of the chrome trim. So we do have that issue there, and it does like look like it's definitely going to leave a line behind. So that's one thing you got to watch out for. If it's got rotted rubber bands and they're not just like falling off and they look stuck to the vehicle, the chances are you may have an issue. This side looks pretty good, pretty awesome. The other thing with this is the hood is not really shutting 100% all the way. And that's another issue you can find sometimes with opening parts. That's why I'm very torn on whether I like opening parts at all in 1/64 scale. So those issues aside, for this particular model, it does look pretty cool. It looks pretty good. The color's great. The model is cool. It rolls. It's got a metal base. It's got a metal body. And all in all, it's got a good weight to it, all that jazz. I'll have to see about getting the rubber band the rest of the way off. I don't know that rubbing alcohol is the best. And actually probably is not. We may have to get something else to try it with that. We might try some lighter fluid or something like that, which I have down here too, because it's also good for removing like Sharpie from packaging. But anyway, we're not going to get into that, the rest of that right now. But there you go. That's one thing you got to watch out for with these is rubber band damage. And we may have some on that model, which is a shame because that's probably one of my favorites that we have here today. All right, next is going to be the Hummer. And we've got two of these, actually. We've got one in kind of a traditional color, and then we've got one that's black with like flames. We're going to pull both of these out. These were $6.99 at Kmart, it appears. The other thing with these is the packaging is kind of obnoxious. I will say that as well. Not just the acrylic case, but which is sometimes good, sometimes bad. Also, just all the cardboard and stuff, having to cut them open, all that jazz. We're going to unscrew it from the base and take a look. This is going to be a long video, so you might need to watch it in phases if you want to see all of it. So we do have some rubber bandage on this one, and it's all over the bottom of the vehicle. Look how detailed that is under there, though. So that's pretty nifty. So Hummer. Let's try to peel away the band. We're gonna make a big mess here. Let's try to get some of that out. Again, I'll probably have to go off the camera and get more of it. So this one they actually like wrapped around the hood hinge to kind of like keep the hood open in the package, and like it is just gooey and falling apart, and that's going to be kind of a pain to clean. So for now, we're just going to leave it because I'm not going to make you suffer through me cleaning it. But as far as a Hummer tooling goes, this is pretty good. I would say this is good. Very nice. I mean, the paint seems to be good quality and stuff, so it's not like the paint issue. It's just these darn rubber bands that are the problem. But we will try a few things and try to alleviate that. But nicely detailed. We got painted headlights and stuff like that. You got a big brush guard up in front. Not too much detail in the back, which is kind of disappointing. You'd think they'd put a little bit more like taillight detail or something in there that looks a little better. but pretty awesome. I don't know how close to 1/64 scale this is, but this is pretty big. It's pretty large. And the opening hood feature has got some pretty good details in there as well. So let's set that one aside. Let's open up the other one. This is more of like a hot-rodded Hummer, I guess. You know, obviously this era of Hot Wheels, flames on cars were still a pretty hot thing. Flame paint job. Multi-piece collector quality car. Yes, it is, in a way. This one, again, same old rubber band situation. Just trying to rip this out of here. Sometimes these open up really easy, and sometimes they do not. Alright, unscrew from base. Weird format, too, on the screws in the base. We've got these diagonal screws. The other reason why I don't like these bases, because sometimes these like little plastic things in here are loose. They're not actually like connected to the base, and it's a pain to put them back on the base. So if you ever want to take them off, then you want to put them back on. Again, I mean, all this rubber band nonsense. I'm really glad they don't do this these days. They do occasionally have a rubber band. They're definitely made of a different material, though, than they were then. So maybe they learned something. Maybe not. But nowadays, usually they just use like some sort of plastic piece that they stick in there that would keep a hood open or keep it shut or, you know, whatever. So again, detail in there, and again, nasty rubber band. So it rolls again, different wheels on this one, looking pretty cool. This one we do get taillight detail in the back, and again, the same detail in the front, and then that flame paint job on the top, which is a little goofy for a Hummer, but whatever. And it's big. I mean, these things are large and in charge, right? All right, so there's your Hummers. Really cool. They are cool. If I can get these rubber bands cleaned off, which I'm hoping I can, and if I can, we're going to have some cool vehicles here, for sure. It's a little disappointing with this one having that bad damage on the side, but all right. Here's one that's a little more odd. I don't normally get something like this. This I probably will have to keep. If I want to keep this, I will have to keep the acrylic case, because my normal way of storing these I don't think is going to be good for a Harley Davidson Fat Boy, for a motorcycle. I normally don't get motorcycles. It's not that I don't like motorcycles, it's that I just don't... displaying them is a totally different thing than displaying like a 1/64 diecast car. And I'm definitely more into cars than I am into motorcycles. So, you know, it's got all the normal literature and all that stuff. The packaging is a little bit different. So this one has a plastic piece in it that is kind of holding it up. But we just want to check out how detailed it is, and I want to see if it rolls. So we have to take it off of the base for now to see the rolling capabilities of this particular vehicle. And does it stand on its own? It does not. We're just going to make sure we keep that. Yeah, because I will definitely need to keep that package if I want to keep this vehicle. Leave it. It rolls. It does not, the steering does not articulate, which I kind of thought it would, so that's a little bit disappointing. There is no way to like stand it up on its own with like a kickstand, so that's kind of disappointing. I wish they would have given it something where you could stand it up on its own. It doesn't need to be an articulating kickstand, but I think it'd be better almost if the kickstand was just down. Because if you're buying a detailed collectible like this, you're likely not like playing with it. So if you wanted to display it, I think it makes more sense to be able to stand it up other than lay this bike on its side. Detail-wise, it's got a lot of details. It does look pretty cool. You know, obviously it's not to scale, right? It's much bigger than 1/64 scale, but I thought I would pick this one up anyway, just because it's interesting. Little Harley Fat Boy. So there's that. Now we can't really, I wonder, can you take this off and stand it up? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to monkey with it, though. We're going to go ahead and just lean it up against the Hummer for now. All right. Next, let's look at the 48 Merc Woodies, which I have two of. We've got one in red, and we've got one in like a turquoise. So we're going to take a look at both of those. $7.76 at Walmart, and again, for that time, probably considered kind of expensive. I'm going to guess, like, I'm not paying $8 for a Hot Wheel. Look at what we're doing now. Right? Now that's, I mean, that's cheap, especially with what's going on right now. Especially for something of this detail, too. And, you know, the sad thing is, if these would have gotten taken out of the package when they were purchased instead of, you know, left in the package, we wouldn't have any rubber band damage on any of these. All right? So sometimes it's better, if you're looking for Hot Wheels 100%, to find loose ones, not ones that you will be freshly opening. Because any of them that you'll be freshly opening when you got a 25-year-old rubber band, you're going to be having some issues. Or you're going to be gambling anyway with some issues. All right, so let's remove this from the base. This is one of those tight screw ones, and I feel like I'm going to strip the screw in. Oh my God, that is like unbelievable. We may not get this one off the base, fellas. In fact, I don't think we're gonna. I'm gonna try it one more time real quick. The bottom screw came out super easy. This one is not. So that's going to take a little bit of creativity to get out. It is one of the annoying things about these. I knew we'd come across one of them, and here we are. The next thing we've got the problem of course, is the rubber band action, which is very much crusty and very much likely to have caused some paint damage, especially when you can see the red paint through the rubber band. That's when you know rubber band and paint in some degree have become one. They are no longer separate entities. They are now part of each other. And when we pull off the rubber band, it is inevitably going to leave a mark on the paint. Hood closes really well. This casting is really nice. It's a cool casting. I don't know what happened to all these tools, like if they still have them around, if they could still like reissue these or make these toolings at all. No idea, but that would be an interesting thing for them to do. Not exactly relaunch the line, but I wonder if they re-release some of these toolings, if they would do well at all. I'm just curious. It would be pretty neat to see. It does have a rubber spare tire, which is cool. We can't look at the base, obviously, because I can't get it off the base. We're going to go ahead and just set that aside, go for the other one that I've got here, and see if we can go ahead and get this one off. Now, I will tell you something else. This is proof positive, too, that not all Hot Wheels appreciate in value, okay? Which you should know that already if you've been a Hot Wheels collector for a while. But considering the fact these are $7.76, you often can buy these for around $10. But as low as like $5, sometimes people will be dumping these things off for. Okay, so they're not expensive to get, which is cool. But it also tells you something that these did not really appreciate in value. This one, the screws came right off, and I don't think we're gonna save that packaging, but I'm gonna set it aside just in case. We definitely got rubber band issues, 100%. Hot Wheels, 100% rubber band damage. Car rolls, yes. We actually have paint damage on the side that is unrelated to rubber band, which is a little bit weird. You don't normally see quality control issues with these, and I would guess that that's what that is. And then, of course, the rubber band issue. And it's just, they're gross, you know. And again, I would love to just get all these rubber bands off of here right now and try out a few things and do it, but we're not going to do that on video, or this would be a very long video. Casting wise, this is very nice, very cool. Now, if they redid it, they packaged it different, didn't put these ugly rubber bands in there, yeah, maybe these would do okay. I don't know. Would anybody be into getting a Woody? Maybe, maybe not. Old school collectors would probably be all about it. New school, you know, probably not so much. All right, we got 3 more to go. I'm saving that Batmobile for last because I know there's probably a few of you that are sticking around for that one. So we will save that one for last just to make you suffer. Let's look at the 32 Ford sedan next. The Batmobile's got like a piece of it floating around in here, so we'll see what happens with that. 32 Ford sedan. This one, interestingly, does not have a rubber band. It's got a like plastic little band around it, so we might get lucky with that one and not have any issues. I also don't see any rubber band with the Pontiac Funny Car that we're going to look at, so we might have a couple of them that I don't know if they figured this out by here. I don't think it's a different date, really. I think these, what's the date on this? It's 2002. So these are 2002. So they are later. So they might have figured out that people don't like the rubber bands and that they could possibly damage the vehicle. So a little hot rod here. Let's get this off of the base. Hopefully the screws will come out. And yep, they come out nice and easy. So obviously the manufacturing process for this stuff was different back then. Let's kind of set that like that over there. So this should peel off with no issues, I think. Oh no. It is leaving some sort of residue behind. Now that residue might be able to be cleaned, and it also may not be. Wow, this is cool. Look at this thing, opens like that. That's pretty awesome. That's really cool. All right, so that's really neat. That's why they probably didn't use a rubber band. They would have had to use something thicker. Copyright date 2000 on the bottom of this, the orange crate. Oh, that came right off. Is it broken? No, it's not broken. It actually is removable. Is this side removable? Doesn't appear that this side can come out. This one's clamped all the way around. This other one is not. It's just like little hooks. So you can pop them in here and do that. Rolls like a dream. This is a cool model. I like this one actually a lot more than I thought I would. It is actually cool that is removable. And you can check it out like that. You can see a little frame in there and steering and, of course, the engine, all that stuff. Looking pretty cool. So this is a really neat one, and we really don't have much to complain about. Just that little bit of residue on there that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get off or not, but we will eventually attempt it. All right, now we got a Pontiac Funny Car and a Batmobile Funny Car. Let's go ahead and open those up. We're going to start with the Pontiac. This actually might be one I have to keep the case for too, just because of the size of the vehicle. It's large. Copyright date. Do we have anything different on this one? No, there's no like date on this one. None that I can see straight away. 2000 actually. Never mind. Found it on the bottom. All right, this one should be pretty good. We got just plastic pieces holding everything down. So we should have no issues here with rubber bandage. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and unscrew it from the base. And again, this one I probably will have to save the acrylic case for to store it because, again, oh, save our screws, put that on top of there, and check out the car. Because again, it's large, so I don't know if I'm going to have like a little case. Dust got in here somehow, like inside the package, which is pretty crazy. It rolls probably pretty close to 1/64 scale. It is all metal. Base is metal. Body's metal, obviously. Motor is not. Motor's plastic. Wheels are rubber. It obviously rolls. What does that say? emula.com. Get it, got it good. Gabriel Trust, Pontiac. Team DDR. And Audi with an extra circle. Weird. I don't know. The Hot Wheels funny car. It's cool. I dig it. I'm not really a funny car collector, but cool to get a Hot Wheels 100% one. And it's a Pontiac Firebird funny car. Quite hilarious. All right. So liking that one. I think that one's cool. And no rubber band issues. All right. Now here we go. Main event, Batmobile. This is the 1989 Batmobile. If you're my age, this is probably your favorite Batmobile. This would have been the one that really started it all for you. If you're a Batman collector and you're my age, likely it's this one is the one that really got you going on Batman. Good old Michael Keaton Batmobile. When I was a kid, I thought this car was so cool, and it is crazy looking, really. All right, so this one's got, it was supposed to have a plastic piece with the rubber bands over it, holding in the top, which is actually great that it had the rubber bands over this plastic piece so we didn't destroy the top part. Now, we did get some rubber band stickage on the paint of the vehicle as well, so we are going to have some issues with that. This is another one I may want to keep the case for. Whenever I can ditch the cases, I do, because I don't display them like that, for one. For two, they are easier to store in these little plastic clamshells that I get from Kaboom Cases. So shout out to them. They do not sponsor the channel. They do not pay me. But they do provide a pretty good product for storing Diecast. And at a reasonable price as well, I should add. That's cool. The base is metal, and it's like that kind of cool bronzish color, copperish color. Oh, wow. This thing does roll, and this thing is extremely heavy, like very heavy. It's got a ton of weight to it. This metal body, metal base, and then it's got this plastic canopy to show the interior. And it doesn't really, I don't think it snaps on. It just kind of sits in there. I kind of wish they wouldn't have had this be removable. Like, what was the purpose of that? I wish they would have just left it like that. I don't even care if they blacked out the window and it didn't have an interior. I mean, I don't like diecast that has a removable piece like that that just can fall off and go somewhere. Greenlight does it occasionally too, and I'm not a fan of it. Now, as far as a 1/64 scale Batmobile from the 1989 movie, I think that this is definitely the best you can get. It is very cool. I'm glad to have it. I don't really collect movie cars per se, but I would say this qualifies as something cool to add to the collection. Hot Wheels, 100%. All right, so let me know what you guys think about this stuff. Okay, so it's good and bad. All right, so there's some good things, there's some bad things. And some of it is a gamble, because if you can get these with zero damage, no issues, like I said, if you can find them loose, that might be the way to go. If you can really see good pictures of them, you find them loose at a swap meet, you're looking at them and they're perfect, there's no issues, swipe them up, because you probably won't find them like that very easily. A lot of times you are going to find these things in the package. They will have the rubber bands still in there, and the rubber bands do pose a threat. So, other than that, interesting choices of castings in this line. I do like this line. I enjoy it quite a bit. I have quite a few of them, and I'm a fan. And you guys let me know what you think as well. Some people call this the heyday of Hot Wheels. Maybe it was. I'm not going to say that. I won't go that far. I will say they're cool. I will say they're different than any other Hot Wheels lineup that has been out ever. So they are unique in a way, kind of like Elite 64 is unique to Hot Wheels. And I just think, I mean, they did a great job. They made some great die casts. It's just the packaging sucked and the rubber bands were terrible. A terrible idea. So, all right, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.